You spent 3 hours on that post. You wrote it, you rewrote it, you picked the font for the graphic, you agonized over the caption, you posted it, you got 12 likes, 2 comments, one of which of those was your mum, and then it disappeared, gone by Thursday. And the worst part, you knew that that was going to happen and you posted it anyway. We've all been there. Now, there's a platform where a video that you recorded 2 years ago is still sending people to your website today, where you can go on holiday for 3 weeks and new people who have never heard of you are still finding you, where the algorithm works in your direction rather than against you. And that platform is YouTube. And I've spent 18 years in digital marketing. So when I tell you that what YouTube offers right now is unlike anything else on the internet, and I'm not saying that for effect, I'm saying it because the numbers back it up. Now, stay with me. Put me on 1.5 speed if you need to, because I'm going to show you something about how YouTube search behavior compounds over time that most creators completely miss. And once you see it, you'll understand why every month you wait to do this is a month of discoverability you simply aren't going to get back. If you're a service provider, a coach, a consultant, someone who's been building online for any length of time, you already know the exhaustion that I'm describing. Show up consistently, post every day, reels, stories, carousels, TikToks, be everywhere, or the algorithm forgets you exist. So you do. Some of it lands, most of it disappears, and then it's Monday morning again and you're staring at a blank screen, wondering what you're going to make today. And it's not because you're not disciplined and you're creative. But the problem is that you're building on rented land, Meta, and the landlord, Meta, are changing the terms whenever it suits them. Social platforms are built for audience retention. The feed is like a river. You can throw things in it, but you can't control where those things are going to go. Most of what you're creating has a shelf life of just 48 hours. After that, it's gone. YouTube works differently, and I want to show you exactly how. Now, if we haven't met before, welcome to Limitlessly Digital. My name is Claire Carrington, and I help female coaches, visionaries, and consultants become known and get visible. The women who have crazy big ass dreams but aren't sure how to start building them, that's who I help. Anyway, let's get on with this, because here's the shift that I think is going to help you change how you think about all of this. Most people treat YouTube like Instagram with longer videos. They worry about subscribers, about production quality, about whether anyone will watch. They're approaching it as a social media platform. YouTube is not a social media platform. YouTube is the world's second largest search engine, owned by the world's largest search engine, Google. When someone types a question into Google today, YouTube videos appear on the first page of results, not links to YouTube. Actual embedded video players right there in the Google search. You'll have seen it. This is something we've seen happening more and more over the last few years. So when your ideal client types, how do I get more clients online, or content strategy for coaches, or why isn't my Instagram working? Your video has the potential to show up on Google and YouTube simultaneously, two of the most powerful search engines on the planet, from one piece of content. Instagram started letting Google index public posts last year in 2025. TikTok is also getting picked up too. So the landscape is shifting. But here's the difference. A social media post appearing in the search results is not the same as a video that was built from search from the ground up. YouTube content is structured around search intent, titled for it, described for it, tagged for it. A caption you wrote for your followers is not. One is accidentally discoverable, the other is engineered for it. And YouTube still has the advantage of being embedded directly in Google results as a playable video, not just a link. That's a different level of visibility. And I want to come back to something specific about how this compounds over time. I'll get to it in a few minutes, because it's what most YouTube advice skips over entirely, and it changes your whole calculation on ROI. So let me tell you about a video that got 14 views in its first week. 14. I'm not going to pretend that that felt good. By any social media metric, you'd call that a failure. You'd pull it, pivot, you'd try something else. I left it alone. Laziness, perhaps. 6 months later, that same video had over 4,000 views. It was ranking for the keyword I'd targeted. People were finding it who had never come across the content anywhere else on any other platform at any other point. In fact, it drew in a new international client for my client. And let me tell you, when that feels amazing, when something you spend time on actually works. That's the evergreen effect. A YouTube video built around a search term people are genuinely looking for keeps being discovered months and years after you hit publish. Think about what that means in practice. Every hour you put into a YouTube video is an investment with a long tail. It was built for search, titled for search, structured for search. It keeps being found. An Instagram, Facebook post has a feed lifespan of 48 hours. Yes, Google now indexes public professional posts, but a caption written for your followers is not the same as a video engineered to answer a question someone is actively typing into a search bar. One might get picked up, the other was built to be found. Now, I'm not telling you to delete your Instagram. I'm telling you to understand the difference between the content that performs and content that compounds. Okay, so looping back. YouTube search doesn't just work in isolation. It builds on itself. When you publish consistently in a niche, YouTube's algorithm starts to understand what your channel is about. It begins recommending your videos in search results in the suggested panel on the homepage of people who have watched similar content. Consistently in a niche is doing a lot of work in that sentence that I've just said. So let me show you what I mean. Say your channel is about content strategy for female entrepreneurs. Why would I choose that? A video on batch creating a month of content is on niche. A video breaking down why your email list matters more than your follower count, that's on niche. A video on how to write hooks that stop the scroll, again on niche. YouTube builds a picture. This channel is for women building online businesses who want to get better at content and marketing. It knows who to put you in front of. Now say you post that and then a recipe video and then a travel vlog from your holiday in Lisbon and then a rant about something in the news. YouTube's picture blurs and it doesn't know who you are anymore, so it stops confidently recommending you to anyone. This is where a lot of creators are self-sabotaging themselves. They think variety keeps things interesting, and maybe it does for people who have already subscribed to you, but for the algorithm trying to find you new viewers, it's just causing confusion. You don't have to be a one-trick channel. Depth within a niche is not the same as repetition. You can cover content, strategy, mindset, around visibility, AI tools, email marketing, client attraction. All of it lives under the same umbrella. The question is to ask before you hit publish, would this person who watched my last video also want to watch this one? And if the answer is yes, you're on niche. If you're not sure, you're probably not. Once you begin posting consistently within your niche, then your videos start reinforcing each other. YouTube notices that people who watch your video on content strategy, for example, will also watch videos on email marketing. So it surfaces them together. Your channel becomes an authority cluster rather than a collection of disconnected videos. If you're a makeup artist, you may also do content on hair because they're in a similar niche, or skincare as well, moisturizers, cleansers, things like that. They are on brand and within niche and help YouTube show your content to other people. This is compounding discoverability, the YouTube equivalent of domain authority in SEO. And the only way to build is time in the game. Every creator ranking well on YouTube right now started when they had no audience. They stayed consistent because they understood that they were building an asset, not performing for a feed. 2 years from today, you will either have a library of evergreen content working around the clock for you, or you won't. That's just the maths of it. Now, I know you saw SEO coming and you braced yourself. You don't need to become a technical SEO specialist to benefit from YouTube search. You need to understand one thing. People type their problems into search bars. Your job is to make content that answers those problems using the same language your audience uses when they're looking for it. That's all that SEO is. It doesn't have to be confusing. Open YouTube's search bar and start typing a phrase related to your niche. Watch what automatically fills in. Those suggestions are real searches from real people made today. That's your content brief, free, handed to you by the platform itself. Titles, descriptions, chapter headings, thumbnails, keywords, tags, they all also feed the algorithm's understanding of what your video covers. When your content answers a question people are actively searching for, rather than a question you thought sounded interesting. It finds the right people without you having to push it. You have client conversations you've had to draw. You've had client conversations. You've got those. You can draw on those. You've got questions from those conversations. Pull from those. Those are your YouTube strategy. You have it. You just haven't started it yet. And this is the part that I find genuinely exciting about YouTube as a base platform. When you record a long form video, you're not making just one piece of content. You're generating raw material for your entire ecosystem. I've been talking about this for 12 years now, and this part is the easiest it's ever been to do. Your video transcript becomes a blog post. The blog post broken up becomes a week's worth of LinkedIn content. The key points from your video go into an email from your list. The most quotable moment becomes a graphic. The opening hook becomes a short form video driving traffic back to the main video. The insight buried in the middle of your video becomes a standalone reel with its own reach. One video, 1 hour, and you'll have 12 to 15 pieces of multiple content for multiple platforms, all pointing back to YouTube, and each feeding discoverability from a different angle, from a different audience. That's what an ecosystem looks like. It's not posting 5 times a day across every platform and running yourself into the ground. It's being efficient. One cornerstone piece with real substance, and then letting it work in every direction. If you want to make that repurposing process faster and more strategic, built around the psychological principles that keep people watching rather than clicking away, that's exactly what Limitless Script was built to do. The link's in the description below. And one more thing before I wrap this up, and it's the thing that took me the longest to clock. YouTube builds trust in a way that no other platform replicates. When someone watches a long form video of yours, they know you, not of you. They know how you think, how you talk, what you stand for. They've sat with your ideas long enough to form an actual opinion about whether they like you, whether they trust you, whether you're the person that they want to work with. A scroll past on Instagram doesn't quite do that. A 30-second reel doesn't quite do that. Depth does, and YouTube is the only platform built around it. That trust is what converts. It's not follower counts. It's not engagement rate. The depth of connection, the resonance someone feels with you before they've ever reached out to you. The woman who finds my longer videos and then comes back for more, those are the ones who become my clients, the customers, the community members. By the time they contact me, the relationship is already there. I didn't have to push it across the line. Long form video does that. YouTube does that. Nothing else on the internet currently does it at the same scale for free with compounding returns. So here's what I want you to take away with you today. And thank you for staying with me so long. Remember to do your part and leave a heart. If you're spending the majority of your content time on platforms that are working against you, I want you to ask yourself honestly, what would you change if you put that same energy into building something that compounds? YouTube takes longer to show results than Instagram or Facebook. The learning curve will be real. But the discoverability, the authority, the repurposing potential, the SEO reach, the evergreen shelf life, nothing else gives you all of that in one place. So start where you are. One video, a question your client is already searching for. That's your starting point. Limitless Script is in the description if you want a framework for writing scripts that hold attention from the first second to the last. And if this gave you something useful, what's the one piece of content you've created that kept working long after you posted it? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll see you in the next video.